hope your day is full of chocolate-covered gummy bears and Sour Punch kids and a chocolate fondue fountain and cinnamon rolls and cheesecake and dots. Dots are those weird gumdrop candies that should just be taken off the market. I don't know why I'm wishing your day's full of them. Dots to me are a candy that I wonder why it even still exists. It's like, excuse me. Dots are the most basic bitch candy of all time. It's like, here, you want a gumdrop that's going to get stuck into your teeth and you're going to have to try to work it out of your molar for the next 6 months of your life? Here, have a dot. Have a dots. Is it, if you just have one, is it, am I having a dot, or is it, I'm having a dots? These are questions that keep me up at night. Guys, I hope your day's full of PPE and masks and antibacterial gel and all of those things that you need during the pandemic time. This is an interesting period of time. No one knows what we're doing or what's happening. But guys, I have an amazing episode for you this week. That's right. I have an amazing episode of Shank for you this week with Donnelly. But before we get into this week's episode, I just want to tell you about something that excites me, and that's cannabis. That's right. Anyone who knows me knows that your girl loves her weed. I love my weed. I'm very particular about the type of cannabis I consume because I do get gifted a lot of weed. So, naturally I am picky. And one of my favorite places to get my weed is from Libra Dispensary in Palm Desert. That's where their flagship store is. First of all, you walk into this dispensary. It's not just any dispensary. It is so well curated. It has anything and everything that you could ever want. And their budristas are incredibly knowledgeable. If you have a question about CBD, THC, edibles, topicals, there's always someone on deck to answer those questions. And I can't really say enough about how much I truly love Libra. If you're in the desert area, go check them out. Or if you're planning on passing by the desert area this summer, check them out. And you can head to their website, librashop.com. They also offer delivery if you're not willing to brave the pandemic. Just go to librashop.com, place your order online, get it delivered. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3, you can still stay high while you're fly. I just made that tagline up. I think that that's something Libra is going to be really excited about. You can still stay fly when you're high. Libra Shops. Follow them at Libra Shops on Instagram. Go to their website, librashop.com. Follow them because they support the show. Show them your love. Let's help them grow. Guys, we have an amazing episode of Shank for you this week with Donnelly. She is a comedian and a writer, and I think you're really going to enjoy it. All right, guys, here it is. And thank you guys so much for continuing to listen to and subscribing to my podcast and sharing it with your friends. I can't thank you guys enough for that. And I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of Shank. Here it is, guys. Thanks. Guys, welcome back to another episode of Shank. I'm Sara Weinshenk, and today's guest is Donnelly.
Hi.
Hi, I'm super excited to have you on because literally I don't know anything about you, but you are so funny. Your tweets are amazing. And I'm like, I got to get this girl on my podcast. I'm trying to highlight more women in the comedy space. So I wanted to get you on.
For having me. You're like someone who I've seen you talk a bunch because you like talk in your Instagram stories. And so because of that, I feel like we've met.
I know. I feel like I know you too.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think I've seen you talk so much.
Yeah. It's so weird because it's like I haven't actually seen you in real life, but I've seen you so much online that it feels like I know you in a weird way.
I really feel like I know you. But
So how long have you been doing stand-up?
So I've only been doing stand-up for a year, but I moved out to LA in 2017 to do one of the diversity writing fellowships. And so I did that for a year, and then I just like wasn't getting staffed because like they don't do anything. And I started stand up, and then that like really kind of was the thing for me.
So you've been doing stand up a year, but you've been writing for a long time.
I've been writing for a really long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to be a comedy writer since I was in high school. I just like didn't think that like performing would necessarily be a part of it.
Yeah. So do you like the performing part of it too?
I love it. It's like definitely made me kind of like change all of the things I want to do, because I'm like, oh, I like acting and doing stuff like that. But I really, how long have you been doing stand up?
10 years.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm just like, right now, I'm not, this is the longest I've ever gone without doing stand up, and it's so weird.
It's like, I can't even imagine if, like, okay, I only did like stand up for a year before everything shut down. Like, it was exactly a year almost. And I don't even know what I would do if it was like more of a part of my identity. Because like
I'm literally like, who am I now?
Yeah, because it's like I only did it for a year, and I feel like that's why I can't even imagine if it's like actually like your whole thing and you can't do it anymore.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so interesting because I feel like after a while, I like made stand up my soul life for so long that like I think it's kind of good because now I'm getting more balance in my life, which is good. But like it's so weird not having it as an outlet. And also like I'm afraid of getting fucking COVID.
I'm like so amazed that more people aren't more scared.
People
like,
are just like, oh yeah, whatever. It's a respiratory lung infection that could potentially kill you. Don't worry about it.
Like the nonchalance like amazes me, and also just like I'm kind of jealous of it in a way. Like I'm like I wish I could pretend the way that you guys are doing it. Like I'm like I get so much anxiety when I'm like out in public and like anyone without a mask comes like close to me. I like get anxious, and I'm like I wish I didn't.
I don't know. I'm like that too. And also like I got booked to do a show in San Diego, and I was like, yes, I'm going to perform. And then I was like, do I really want to be around 50 people who are not wearing masks? Like 50 people is a lot of people, and they probably, one of them statistically has got to have the virus.
Also, like statistically, it's like if they're the kind of people who are gonna go to a comedy club where they're not wearing masks, like those are the people who are most likely to have it. I'm like, I'm not performing in front of 50 people who have been correctly social distancing for months. Like I'm in front of 50 people who don't care. Like
yeah. And like I want to be out, and it's like I feel like it's different if you perform outside versus like in an enclosed space.
Well, I'm like chill to be outside with people. Like I don't mind hanging out with people like outside, like from a distance kind of, but like inside close, I'm like
fuck no. And then also, have you done any Zoom shows?
I've done a couple Zoom shows, and I'm supposed to do a Zoom show on Friday, but I'm so scared and I don't really like them that much.
I hate them so much. I really hate Zoom shows so much. It's like if somebody, I keep describing it as if like somebody gives you like your favorite like alcoholic drink, but there's no alcohol. Like here, you like wine, but here's it without alcohol. And you're like, why would I drink wine then? You know, like it doesn't make, it just is like, it's kind of like it, but kind of not. That's so cool. So wait, you're young. How old are you?
Yes. I'm 25.
You're 25. Okay. So you've been writing since pretty much forever.
Yeah, okay. Since like, I started writing in high school, and then like after college, I started like doing it more seriously.
And where are you from originally?
I'm from Palo Alto, California. So
okay.
Area, Silicon Valley. But like most of my family lives here. So I grew up here a lot. You grew up here, right? Are you from?
Yeah, I grew up in the Valley. Yeah.
Yes. Where in the Valley?
In Encino.
Beautiful.
Right by Sherman Oaks. Yep, that's my life.
Oh my gosh.
And then I've been in LA pretty much my whole life. So are you into fashion? Do you have like have you had any like fashion phases that you went through?
Let's see. What do you mean phases? Like
where like you think like you're rocking this look and it's like working for you, but then in hindsight you're like, I don't know what I was doing.
I was really goth in college.
Like, you were?
Well, I only wore black because I lived in Washington and everyone wore black, and like that was like the thing. So when I look back at, and I also like had a septum piercing and like a nose piercing.
Oh, you had both?
I had both, and
I
I just
like
like
that.
ever wore black, and I wore like a full cat eye like every day.
I like that. Did you like that? Did it make you feel like mysterious?
At the time, I felt so fucking cool, like for sure. And I would like there was a lot of, I went to college in Washington State, and there's so many good like thrift stores around there, and they're like not overpicked because there's no like high-end vintage resale really. And so there's like so much good shit. And so I would like go thrifting every day, and like I definitely had a very like kind of like Seattle punk aesthetic. But
I
was
like that.
Yeah. But I think like since then I haven't, like I don't have, I'm so jealous of you. I'm always on your Instagram, but like I'm so jealous because you like have such a thing. Like you have such a look.
It's so weird because it's like I literally just wear whatever I like. And most of the time it's vintage. But now it's like I don't want to go vintage shopping in the middle of COVID. I don't want somebody's like droplets on like a new a kimono. It's like, how am I gonna get that out?
I wear coronavirus on my kimono.
Yeah. You know, like stuff like that. You're like, yeah. And then I also have a bunch of clothes and I'm like, where am I wearing these? To Zoom?
Yeah, exactly. And that's also like I love, like I'm someone who like goes shopping like every day, and like granted like most of the time like at, you know, Savers or like Goodwill or whatever, but it's been so different because I'm like I have nowhere to wear anything, and so I've been so much less inspired like fashion wise because I'm like, who's seeing me?
Yeah. It's also like, I don't know, I'm in like a weird robe thing, but I don't want to buy too many robes because then
You just have a bunch of rides. So that's also like when I was really into thrifting in college, like I truly would go every day. I went through this phase where, you know how have you seen Sex and the City?
yeah.
Okay, so you know how Carrie wears like all those like weird nightgowns and like
Yeah.
kind of like grandma-esque?
Yes.
For a really long time, I would just got in a phase where I was buying so many nightgowns.
That's
like
amazing.
so many Carrie style nightgowns, and I just had like probably like 30 grandma nightgowns that I had to like then just like like I'm always accumulating like so many specific items of clothing and like so many of them.
That's what I do that too. I had like a sleepover show that I used to do. It was like a video game sleepover show. And I got obsessed with finding onesies that were like printed. And I would get them for me and my other co-hosts. I like go to every vintage like Goodwill. I'd like dig through the racks and I'd be like, we're wearing army print onesies tomorrow. But they took up so much space. I had probably like 15 of them. And I was like, okay, this is like mental illness now.
I would need to like I need a whole wardrobe department to like come through and like organize all my stuff. Like my stuff's a mess. Like I have too much shit and I don't know what to do with it. I don't even know what I have. Like I have no sense of inventory. You know what I mean?
Oh my God. The first month of quarantine, all I did was organize my closet.
That was my plan and I never did it. And now we're like deep into quarantine and I'm like, when will I do it?
You know what the trick is? Okay, if you have the space, a rolling rack.
Oh, fuck, I do. I should get some rolling racks.
Just like one rolling rack, and then you get like the velvet hangers because they take up less space. And you buy like 100 of them, and then you just hang everything up.
Okay, I need to do that.
It's an organizational tip. I don't really give organizational tips except for like to select humans. So I mean, you're welcome for that hot organizational tip.
You're branching out. I love it. Good advice.
Oh my God, from comedian to closet organizer, that'd be such a dark turn.
Well, we're all trying to make the new life work for us.
Yeah, so like how are you trying to make the new life work for you?
That's like such a good question. I mean, I'm not doing a good job, I don't think, but it's like
No one is.
I know, like that at least makes me feel better, but it's like I'm just trying to do the things I can every day. So like I still kind of like do self tapes, I guess, for things, and I like try to write, and I do my Twitter, and I try to do social media. I mean, like, what do you even do? Like,
I mean, literally, I like wake up and I check Twitter and I'm like, well, that was a mistake.
Right, and then I just feel like all day. I'm like sweaty and angry all day because I start my day off by like looking at like the worst shit possible.
I know. And then I've been trying to like limit it. This is a new thing, and it's literally a new thing as of yesterday, an hour of social media a day.
Yeah.
But that's like
that was
so hard.
so hard. I can't even picture it because I'm like, I feel like my whole life is social media. Like I feel like I kind of like, it's like I wake up and I'm like clocking in almost. Like that's like literally what it feels like.
You know, it does feel like that. And you're like, wait, actually, I think my job is also to post things online, which is.
I mean, it is. Like, I think that is our job. Like, right? Like, I'm like, the only money that I've made has been like from like random like ads and stuff that I've like done for my Twitter or like my Instagram.
I mean, yeah, like most of the money I make is from Instagram or my podcast or like something like that. Like something that's like, it's just so interesting. Like, I guess it's good that we're experiencing this during a time when there's like, you know, technology, because if we didn't have technology, we'd be fucked. But also technology right now is so divisive. It's like everyone's pissed off, angry, horny, hasn't left the fucking house, is like, people are like getting
like peak mean. I'm like, I've never seen this, like I've never seen people be this mean and this looking for a fight all the time.
I know.
It's like so exhausting and I'm just so tired. Like social media is like, no, it's like not even close to an escape. It's like literally like putting yourself in the middle of all the worst things that are happening in the world right now.
Right. And then it's like here, speak to what's going on. And you're like, wait, I'm still trying to process what's going on,
yeah,
by the
I
way.
have no idea what's going on. Also, everything changes every day. So like however I felt yesterday isn't how I feel the day after that. And it's like even like hour to hour. I'm like, I don't.
Yes. Yes. I'm just like, literally how I feel changes constantly, especially like right now, because it's been so weird. It was like pandemic, quarantine, fucking race riots and wars, and then now all kinds of weird shit happening in the comedy community.
I know, and like the comedy. Wait, did I freeze for you?
You did freeze.
Oh,
okay, but you're back.
Okay. Yeah, like it does feel like every. I mean, I think about it like almost like we're in the Hunger Games and we keep getting like new challenges thrown at us.
That's what it is.
I'm like, it never stops.
That's right. That's what it is. It's constant. It feels like it feels like I'm obese trying to do a triathlon.
Like, this is too hard. Like, I just can't do it.
I'm not in shape for this.
Yeah.
I have never trained.
I don't have the basic skill set for this.
Yeah.
But then it's also crazy, like the comedy stuff too, because I'm like, well, comedy's not even really happening right now, and it feels like such an abstract thing for people to like be talking about, I guess.
I know. It's just like, it feels like there's so many things that systemically have been so fucked for so long, and now it's like, to change it all overnight is just gonna take a long time to like restructure society. And like, we can't as a culture decide that some things are okay and then a day later decide that they're not okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I'm against like racist people and people who are pedophiles and rapists and like sexist, of course, but like there's always like the fringe part of that too.
Well, there's like people who I'm not sure if their goal is to make things better, and that kind of makes me a little bit suspicious.
Well, they just are like, they're pissed off because they're not where they want to be.
Yeah, it's like a lot of people are just like very angry in general, and I'm like I get it's like we need to take mean, bad people out, like
100%.
100%. But yeah, it's like at what point are people like not being like genuine with their intentions to do that?
Right. And it's like I think the main thing is also people just need to like come together. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like white people need to be allies for Black people, and you know, also men need to be allies for women. It's like we can't just get rid of men. We can't just get rid of white people.
Right. So it's like, all exists. We have to figure out a way to like work together to like make it better, because otherwise it's just like not ever gonna get better. Like,
I know. But so yeah, it seems like the younger female comedians are more woke. then like, because I see like your tweets, and I think you're friends with Ellery Smith.
Yes, I am friends with Ellery.
Yeah, she's got some good tweets, and I'm like, this new like class of like women comedians is gonna be dope.
I hope so. I think it's like, I mean, I think I've been lucky because I feel like you know, like my age group is like the first age group where we really don't think like not like other girls is cool. And I feel like I've been like very lucky that that's like the sentiment that I've been like around, where I feel like before, you know, like maybe like 15 years ago or whatever, it was like very like, oh, like you want to be like one of the guys, or like that was like a big thing in like pop culture and movies, is like the girl who was just like the guys and like whatever.
Yes.
But I'm like, oh, I'm really happy that I got to grow up during a time period where like that was no longer like cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, because I do feel like, because I'm 8 years older, and I feel like there's a definite like difference. You know what I mean? Like it seems like you guys are more, do you have a lot of like female comic friends?
Basically I like only have female comic. I mean,
that's what it seems like. Because like I've been really trying, I always try to have like a woman opener if I headline and get spots, or I always try to help other women, because I feel like guys really help guys, you know, and that's been a thing. So it's like, I think it's important to like always like give women voices and like opportunities, especially now. And hopefully, I mean, it's good that you guys have like a class of like women that are like together, because I think that the older groups aren't really like that as much.
I mean, it just seems like it was harder to be a woman in comedy like literally 5 years ago. Like it seems like it was a more stressful experience, more overtly like harassy, like
totally. I mean, it's so weird, because it's like I feel also like so desensitized from it, because it was also normalized. So now I'm like, I guess some of the shit that I experienced wasn't necessarily positive, you know what I mean? But at the time I wasn't perceiving it as being like inappropriate, because it was just so normalized. So it's like now it's like to retroactively get mad about things, unless it's like rape or like something that's like really disrespectful or pedophilia, it's like, let's just try to like everyone be better moving forward.
Going forward, like let's just all try to do our best to like, I like literally at the minimum, like just like not hurt people's feelings for no reason.
I know, which seems like so obvious, but then it's also like it gets so messy, because it's like when you do stand up for, you know, most of your life in your 20s and in your 20s and your 30s, it's like that's where you meet people, that's where you date people, that's where you have these experiences, because it's so all consuming. So of course people are gonna have like all types of stories, and it's like so much to sift through too.
Well, it's like I mean, I started stand up a year ago, and I was like immediately just like kind of, I mean, I loved it because I had a community. Like it's like an automatic community of people. It's like almost like being in high school again.
It's so fun. It's like your social life.
It's so cool, and you get to see people that you like and think are cool every single day. And like, but like obviously there are cons of that too. Like in like a high school or like a college setting or like a work setting, it's like there just is going to be conflict.
Right. Yeah. It's just and there's no HR. So it's like all of a sudden like comics trying to regulate comics, and then it's like, I don't know, it's just, there's so many things that are happening right now. It's literally so overwhelming. It'll be interesting to see like what this landscape of comedy is going to look like when it comes back.
I'm so curious. I'm like, will the people who were getting good spots before be the same people who are still getting spots? Like I'm like, how will it change? Will it change at all?
I mean, I feel like it's definitely going to have to change in some ways, because it's like, I feel like literally everyone is way more woke now than they were 6 months ago.
I feel the same way. Like, I feel like people are finally like getting like why it's like, it's fine. Like, okay, I totally do get like the kind of like a hesitance toward like PC culture, because it is like a lot of gesturing and like posturing, and it's not always like very well intentioned, like when
Right.
people call people out for like not being PC, but it's like realizing that like it's okay to like say things that aren't necessarily like woke if there's not a lot of like other mean actions that are also behind it.
Yeah, I think that it's like we need to keep it so that we can have free speech, but we need to not be spiteful, and we need to not say things that are divisive.
Yeah.
Like with the intention of hurting somebody else.
Right.
That's
exactly.
what I think. And that's why I've never liked the roast battles. Like everyone around me was like, you got to do it. And I'm like, here's the problem. I can't hear anything mean about myself because I already have tried to work past those things. So if somebody says one thing that's like affects me the wrong way, I'm too much of a pussy to just like take that. I'll probably cry. Yeah, and I just have always known that that's not my thing. You know what I mean? And I think it's like, I think that like women in comedy, sometimes there's no really like blueprint of how to do it. There are a few comics that you can like look up to and stuff, but it's just like, when I started comedy, I was like, I want to do fashion, comedy, I like weed, like, which one of those things do I have to pick? And like trying to like pick one thing, and like it's turned out that like you don't have to pick one thing. You can be like everything that you are, and if you're just your authentic self, then people are going to find you and they're going to be attracted to that, versus like trying to fit into the mold of like, I have to be like this if I'm around guys, or like this if I'm a woman comic. You know what I mean? Just like, and that's been one thing that I wish that I knew kind of sooner, because for so long I was literally like, where am I in this space? Like, what is this world for me? You know?
But I feel like now you have such like a clear, defined like persona, and like, you know, like everything about you is so, like I could tell you all about who Sara Weinshenk is, you know?
I love that.
Thank you. Like you're so cool. You've definitely found a way to integrate weed, fashion, and comedy.
Yeah, so I think that like that's the future. Like the more that people are their like authentic selves kind of, and like they're like, these are my interests, like I'm putting this out there, like I like this and this. If you vibe with that, then cool. If not, there's other performers for you. Like it doesn't have to be. And so that's been interesting. And just like, I think that it's going to be a really cool time to see like all the different female voices that are going to come up. I
hope so. Like, it's like my Ellery and I run an all-female show in LA, like, you know, and before COVID. And like, it's not even in like a women aren't funny way, but it's like, it's hard to book all-female lineups because there just like aren't that many women who even do comedy to begin with.
100%. I remember like, when
let alone like enough where I could like, it's like I always feel like I'm putting people on lineups that I don't necessarily think are that funny, but it's like I want there to be more women so that I think that every woman that I put on is funny. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No, 100%. I think that it's things get like weird and muffled because you're like, I want to be on the lineup because I'm funny, not because I'm a woman. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's also like you need more opportunities to get funnier.
Exactly. Like,
as a woman.
With like stage time is what makes people funnier and like better at stand-up, obviously, like literally just doing it. And it's like, yeah, women just don't get as many opportunities to fail before people decide that they're not funny.
Right. That's 100% accurate. I mean, for me, like I did Kill Tony. I was a regular on Kill Tony for 2 years, and literally it made me so tough. I was literally like, I just would like go up, perform in front of like all dudes, and just like, it made me so tough that I kind of feel like I've become like desensitized to like the everything that it means to be like a woman in comedy. You know what I mean? And I also have met so many guys that have had my back and like given me opportunities. So it's like, it's so weird to navigate.
It's like definitely push-pull. I also think it's like just realizing most people are pretty nice, and then there's like a couple people who are really shitty.
Like real life.
Yeah.
And like, also, I don't know. I think one of the other things is like, I got so like concerned about like be at the comedy store. And it's like the comedy is everywhere. It's not just in one location. It's like there's so many different ways to do it. And especially now, I'm like, are more shows going to be on Zoom? I hope not.
I really hope not. I have a feeling that Zoom shows will be a thing of just quarantine. Because, like, I don't know anyone who watches them. Do you?
No. Could you imagine being a regular person logging on to watch a Zoom show?
No.
But I think people do.
I know they must. It's like this weird thing though, where like if my friend has the show, like I'll go see them live, but it's like I haven't logged on for any of my friends' Zoom shows. Like literally, why would I do that?
I don't even want to log on for my own Zoom show.
Yeah, like I don't even want to do the Zoom show. I would tell everyone not to watch me.
Yeah.
Like if you don't have to watch, don't watch.
So I have a question. So, okay, you've been writing for a long time, and then in terms of like on stage, wait, were you acting before?
No, not at all. Like I didn't do anything performing wise at all.
Really?
Like I would make like little videos and stuff like that, but I didn't really like see myself as like being on camera, if that makes sense. Like
yeah. But now do you like being on camera?
Well, now I love it because I'm like,
it's perfect for you.
So fun. Yeah. And I also realize like I am a good vehicle for like my jokes and like my voice or whatever. But it was like hard to admit to myself that was something I wanted, because I think also a lot of writers I know kind of feel this way, but there's something where it almost seems like vain to like want to admit that you want to perform.
See, okay, like that's interesting, because I also like, I guess, is that vanity, or is that just like, this is my song and I want to sing it? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is it?
It should be more like that, but I think I just kind of grew up in a way where I never wanted anyone to think that I thought I was like pretty.
I know what you mean. Yeah. But like, because if you feel like you're pretty or you feel like you're funny, then it's like viewed a certain way.
Yeah.
If you're confident as a woman, it's like almost like, wait, what?
Yeah, it is kind of like, well, no one's telling me I should be confident, so then why am I confident? And then you're like, should I not be?
Yeah. That's true. There's a lot of like self-reflection, I feel like, that happens. A lot of like internal dialogue that happens when you're like a woman in comedy, where you're like, I wrote this joke, should I say it like this? Like so much stuff lives in your head.
Yeah, and there's also just like, I feel like women just do question themselves more because like other people question them more. Mm-hmm. And I think like that kind of sucks, because it's like I'm always struggling to like take myself seriously and like be confident and like not have imposter syndrome. And it's like really funny because there are like so many guys who just like are less funny than me that like kind of suck.
No, and they're so confident.
And they're so confident. And I'm like, oh, like why do I have to feel like this?
No, it's true. And like, even like for me, like one of the things that I've had to do, because it's been really hard for me to like when it comes to like making a business decision, okay, I always try to like put myself in like, pretend like I'm a man, because like I'm always afraid of hurting people's feelings, of being like, you know, that's not enough money, I don't want to do it. But it's like, no, like that's not enough money and I'm not going to do it. Sorry. Thank you for thinking of me. But like, or like people, or I've like performed at clubs before and it's like the end of the night, I need my check. And like for so long I'd be like, I'm afraid. Now I'm like, I need to get paid because I have to go. Like stuff like that, where it's like speaking just like super direct, and like as a woman, you feel like there's so many emotions and you don't want to hurt anybody too. Or you're like, I just want my check. Like, sorry, I don't want to bother you. But it's
sorry,
like,
no worries if you don't. But like, yeah, like I'm always like that. And I'm always scared. I'm so scared to say no to people. And I get so many like random weird requests that I end up agreeing to because I'm just like too scared to say no.
Oh my God. Saying no is the most empowering thing of all time. When you're just like, no, I'm not doing that. Thank you. And then like, you can be nice about it, but it's like, but like that took me so long to like realize.
Yeah.
And even like doing shows, sometimes I would like agree to do shows. And then I'm like, you know what? Like, I actually don't want to do that show that's like in the back of like fucking your apartment in like some weird area I've never been to with like maybe 3 people, and I'm losing money by driving. Like,
Yeah.
when I first started, I would say yes to like any stage time. And I got myself in so many weird situations. I'd be like driving people to like San Diego. They'd all be wasted. I'd be like 24 driving like 5 drunk people in my car, like crazy shit. And I'm like, I just want to perform, like stuff like that. And now I'm like, what? No. You know?
And it's like, I've only been doing comedy for a year, but like I had already started to feel like that, where it's like you kind of have to actually consider like opportunity cost and like what is the show gonna do for you.
Totally.
Like, at what point is it like not worth like, you know, getting 8 minutes on stage?
I'm like I really wanted to go perform in San Diego, and I'm like, it's not worth getting COVID.
It's definitely not worth getting COVID. Also, like, my thing with COVID too is it's like, it seems like you just don't know how it's going to impact you. Like, probably it won't be a big deal for like most people who are young, but like, you don't know.
And then you like accidentally kill other people. And then like
spreading the virus, maybe.
I don't know. Like from like I like when the virus first happened, were you like really freaked out?
When the virus first happened, I was super freaked out. And then I think I've slowly gotten less freaked out because it seems like the way that it's transmitted was really overblown, because it does seem like unless you're like talking to someone without masks and like literally exchanging spit and like you can't really get it. Like for a while I was like wiping down groceries and stuff like that. And
and like the wiping down groceries,
crazy shit. Yeah, like taking off my shoes the second I got into the house. Like I'm like,
yes.
I'm like, okay, well that's all crazy. Like that clearly, if you had to do those things to not get COVID, like we're all just getting COVID, right?
Yeah, like it just was so crazy. I would get home and then I would change immediately into a robe, get completely naked, take off
my street clothes.
Yeah, take off all my contaminated clothes, and then I was like so exhausted because it's like so much extra thinking, and even like going to the grocery store, it sucks. And then wiping down the groceries, it's too much.
But I finally like am like, okay, as long as I'm wearing a mask and most other people that I'm like around are wearing masks, it's probably okay.
That's how I feel too.
I've like slowly gotten more comfortable with like hanging out with people, and like I've become more lax. But it is so crazy because I'm like, I think like I'm now at a point where I'm handling COVID in like a realistic way. And then there's like, it's weird because I think that there are people who just like realized it was overblown, but then like went too far with how overblown it was. So
there's people who are like, oh, COVID's a myth and they're living dangerously right now. And I'm like, I don't want to be that, but I also don't want to be like OCD psycho.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be more normal, but I'm working through a lot of fear right now.
And like, I also am just like, I'm trying to be as like, as like not like fear mongering as I possibly can, like to myself and others.
Yeah.
But it does seem crazy to like take it so far where you're like, I'm just going to pretend it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Like that's mental illness, but then also like leaving the house in a hazmat suit's also mental illness. Right. So it's like everybody's losing it basically.
There is like a balance to strike. I also think it's like for things to really just be normal, I feel like we just need a vaccine, and then it won't be normal until we have a vaccine.
I know. So it's like, is that going to be 2021? It's like, how do you hang on when you're just like enduring the year?
It is crazy because I'm like, there's a part of me that's like, oh, I wish we could just like cut too. Like if we could just like fast forward, or like, but it's like almost like the fact that we have to live every day out fully until there's a vaccine seems like torture sometimes.
I know, it does feel like that. It feels like we're all just waiting for our lives to start, but you're like,
kind of are.
I know, and you're like, I miss my life, and then you're like, things open, and you're like, am I even comfortable with like that thing opening? Like, I don't know. Like, do I want to go to a restaurant? Have you been?
So I ate at a Mexican restaurant outside in Burbank.
I'm jealous.
Maybe a couple days ago.
Sounds ideal.
Last week. And
walk on the patio.
And after I got too anxious. Like I was sitting there and I was eating and I literally got so overwhelmed and I started thinking I had COVID and I had to walk around the block and then I haven't gone out since then.
No.
Yeah. So I just I think I did too much for myself. I wasn't ready to take that step.
Right. You overdid it.
Have you eaten anywhere yet?
Have I eaten? I'm thinking, no, I haven't eaten out anywhere, but I've gotten food to go.
Oh, I get lots of food to go. I'm totally fine going to a restaurant, getting food to go. Those are my favorite outings.
Mine too. That's all I do.
It's chill. I can go pick up my food. I can have an interaction and then I can go home and eat my food.
Yes.
That's the kind of COVID interaction I'm comfortable.
That same. I'm choosing wisely what I'm doing. I'm not going completely rogue. And if I do something, I'm wearing a mask.
Yes,
so,
exactly.
But I also power walk now, which I'm sure my podcast listeners are tired of hearing me talk about because it's I just am I have nothing to do, so I guess I'll walk. Do you
boredom activity?
Yeah, do you break up writing? Do you have a schedule? Do you find that what's your schedule? How do you stay motivated to write?
I guess I stay motivated to write because I right now I'm working on my SNL packet, and so I usually just get up in the morning and then I get I wake up pretty early. I wake up at 8 and then I lay in bed for 2 hours and then I get up and I usually can write from 10 to noon, and then that's kind of all the focused work I can do for the day, and then I can kind of do intermittent work throughout until 5 o'clock. And then I get really high and I just watch movies for the rest of the night.
But I love that plan.
Yeah. What do you do? What's your schedule?
My schedule is I normally sleep till 11 and 10 or 11. I'm a late riser. Get a coffee and then I walk for 2 hours and then I come home and write and do any work stuff, and then that's it. Whatever else I do. But I have to get out and have a slow morning.
I have to have a slow morning.
I love a slow morning, but I do notice that but also sometimes I do wake up and feel that I'm better at writing in the morning too.
I kind of have to do everything first thing. Kind of a lot of times, if I actually have to get writing done, what I do is I just wake up at 6 a.m. I set an alarm. I wake up at 6 a.m. I chug a bunch of cold brew and then I just write until usually 11 or 12. If I have to get stuff done.
Yeah. So you just muscle it up.
I can actually focus.
So you're doing your SNL packet. Packets are so much. They remind me of homework.
They are homework. Also, it's they're always too much. I'm you're not paying people to. It's kind of a job interview doesn't require that much of you.
Yeah, they're you have to do a full day, a full shift before.
Yeah, exactly. I'm you're making me essentially do a full day of work for you for free.
I'm giving you all my ideas right now.
Exactly. I just feel packets could be shorter and you could still get the gist without making people spend so much fucking time on that. And
yeah.
I know so few people who've gotten anything from a packet alone that it seems like a fool's errand.
Same. It does feel like that, but it's also if you get offered to do one and you have the time, it's I guess I'll just do it because it's a muscle in a way. But there's been I've done so many and I'm I fucking nailed that packet. Haven't gotten one. I'm sending it in. The packet is ready to go. It took me fucking forever. Never hear back. And you're wait, what?
Yeah.
So the Colbert packet I did once, and it was you had to write it in this special format that they use, and it was I had to learn this new format, and it was some things were in caps and some things were in red. It was another language, and I was by the time it was done, I was I don't even think I want this job because
right.
How much?
Yeah, exactly. Spend so much time on this shit.
Yeah.
And it seems so fruitless sometimes, but it is this is the kind of career where you kind of just have to do a little bit of something every day.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I'll go on, sometimes I won't. I always try to tweet throughout the day, throughout the week. That's just and then I try to, then I revisit my tweets when I'm writing my stand-up.
Yeah, same. That's exactly, yeah, because they're mostly just tweets are like usually premises and
premises, yes.
really good premises, yeah.
And then you can flesh that out because it seems like, yeah, I think that it's good that you have all the writing down because it's so important with stand up.
I mean, I think like that's the only way I was able to like kind of figure out how I wanted to be on stage so quickly was just because I had done so much writing for myself.
Yeah, like, you know, like I can read your tweets and understand like your voice, which is like amazing because like when I was first started stand up, I wasn't there yet. I think the writing took me like a while to like figure out, if that makes sense.
You started when you were really young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I bombed so many times.
But I love your stuff because you're also like a one-liner comic.
I love a one-liner.
Yeah.
I love a dry one-liner.
To me, my favorite comedy is girls who do one-liners.
I like that. There aren't that many.
There aren't. It's like, I mean, you do it. My friend Ginny Hogan does it. My friend Andrea Moore does it. But I'm like, oh, those are like all my favorite people that I like to watch.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
See, like, I like that there's all these women comics coming up that are like younger, that are like writers. Makes me happy. You know, we need new voices, different voices. So,
and I hope that like more and more women like feel like they want to do it. But I think it's like, it's so weird because I remember when I first moved out here, one of my best friends does stand up and she had been doing stand up like when I first moved here. And I was like literally too scared because I was like literally scared of like going to the comedy store. Like I was like,
really
scared of the environment. Yeah, like it's so funny to look back on because it's like now I'm like more confident and like self-assured and I'm like, okay, well I can like handle myself now, but I didn't always feel like that. And I think like that was something that made me like not want to try stand up was just like how kind of intimidated I felt by like the scene.
The scene is fucking intimidating. Like I guess like when I really think about it and like being the beginning of stand up, like I would not want to do like have to brave the scene again from the beginning. If you know what I mean? Like just like figuring out and there's just like so many people and so many different energies and so many damaged people that haven't worked through their shit. Like I mean, a lot of comedy attracts a lot of damaged people. So it's like, you're like, oh wait, is this a them thing or is this a me thing? You know? And then like after a while, it just became like, okay, like I'm in charge of like who I surround myself with. Like I'm in charge of like my energy, my exchanges. And like if something's making me feel bad, then I'm just not going to be around those types of people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, just like realizing it's like you have full power over who you are or aren't interacting with. And the scene is small, but it's also like big enough where you can kind of avoid people if you really don't like them.
I avoid people all the time.
Exactly. There's so many people that I don't really like that much. I don't see them. I just make it a point to like not run into them.
Yeah. I also think that like there's a lot of people who are angry because they're not where they want to be yet personally, and instead of actually doing the work, it's like easier to blame like it's because of this or because of that or like all of those things.
It's just like so interesting to me too because it's like every time that I mean, yeah, like obviously it's like it's hard sometimes to like not just like get jealous of people kind of or like get like indignant that someone gets something that like you aren't getting. But I think it is kind of like I try really hard to just like it's like if you're not getting what you want, do more of your own thing, I guess.
Totally. Yeah, like, totally because it's like I never got anything until I started putting stuff out and like
you just kind of have to make your own shit
all the time. Like it's so annoying and you're like, and then because then people aren't that like creative. The people who are like looking to make shows and stuff, they can't envision something unless you put it in front of them.
They need,
you know what I mean?
So much explaining. Yes, like exactly. It's like so, and also people. It's like people kind of almost like need to like people do read scripts, and I know that scripts get bought, but it's like so much easier to sell people on an idea when you have something that's like easy for them to like look at.
Yeah. That makes
so simple. I think.
I know. And there's like so much going on and you need to be like, see, this is what it would be like.
Like really quickly, like this is what it would be like. This is why it would work. Like this is why.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I just.
Such a fun pod.
I know. I love the pod.
Well, thank you for coming on. I think that's kind of it. I had so much fun.
I did too.
Where can my listeners and viewers find you, and do you have anything you want to promote?
Okay. On Twitter, I'm at Dana D only, and then on Instagram, I'm at Hottest Dana. I don't have anything to promote, but please follow me.
Yay! Wait, is your last name Donnelly? No.
Yeah.
It is. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, good. I didn't mess up that intro because D only. It made me confused, and I'm like, what if her name?
No.
D
I just couldn't
only.
get my name on Twitter.
Oh my God, who has it?
I don't know. It's an inactive account, and I'm like, someone needs to get me this log on.
Yeah, we need to figure out how to hack that log on.
Like,
I think I might know someone. No, I don't know. I'll text you about it.
A friend at Twitter, yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for coming on. I had so much fun.
Okay, bye.
Bye.